Welcome to Jerks Talk Games, where two programmers talk about games that they love. My name is Chris Tankersley, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Gary Hockin.
Hello, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, yes, and Happy Holidays to everybody who listens, because we will get this out before Christmas, amazingly enough. Because I will get it out by the end of today. Gary, how's it been?
Things have been frantic, Chris. How's it been with you?
The same. We have to keep buying all these presents for people. And now people are coming over to my house, so...
It's a case of, it's just a case of, how things are. I don't know if you're shutting down for a week or if you're going to work in between Christmas and New Year, but certainly in the UK it's not expected to work until early January after the end of this week. So I have been busy as hell. And started a new business with Rob Allen hasn't exactly come at a very good time either. So that is exciting. But yeah, it's been busy. But more importantly, what have I been playing?
I don't know. What have you been playing?
I have been playing a absolute metric shit ton of Orcs Must Die Unchained, which I am thoroughly enjoying, I have to say. It's if you haven't played Orcs Must Die sort of franchise... I don't suppose they are like Dota style games. I can't remember what the name of that genre is. You'll be able to help me out.
The MOBA.
Yeah, I don't think it's a MOBA game as such. It's a tower defense game, but you have a character you play in third person as well as being able to set traps and root the enemies. So it's fairly unique. There are a couple of examples of games that are very similar, but I really like this. Free to play. Not a free to play game that tries to push you into giving them money via being in your face all the time or making the game really hard unless you spend money. More, we're free to play, but if you want to unlock these characters quicker, then you can just give us a few pound. And as with all free to play games, I'm happy to give a few bucks if I've had enjoyment out of it, because I don't expect anything for nothing. I don't expect to play a game for 100 hours and not give the makers anything. So it's been great fun.
Oh yeah,
it's been great fun playing co-op with.
Go ahead. You go.
We'll edit that out because I just lost everything. It's not a kind of game I'd like to play solo. Like I could never see me playing that. But playing with a couple of my old friends from. I play online games with my good friend Ian. We've been playing tons and tons, and it's one of those games that we end up just like laughing about the situations, and it's been really good fun, I have to say. Excellent game.
Nice. I haven't been playing too many games. I did pick up over Black Friday Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition for PlayStation 4 because my Xbox is all the way downstairs and I don't want to go downstairs and play it. And since I don't run Windows, I can't play that copy that I had bought on Windows. So I've now bought Fallout 4 3 times, but started playing through that again, which is always fun. And then picked up Skyrim for Switch. So sorry, Raphael, I'm talking about Switch again. Which, while it's not the prettiest version of Skyrim, it actually runs pretty well and plays just like Skyrim. So like I can sit on the couch while other people are watching TV and play it. So it's actually been really fun. I did pick up Need for Speed, not the new one, but the one that came out right after the movie last year, I think. Because it was like $10. Piece of shit game. Like it's mostly FMV. It's just called Need for Speed for PlayStation 4.
I suspect I normally buy the Need for Speed games, but the last one I actually enjoyed was the one which was Cops versus Robbers, and not Cops versus Robbers, Racers versus Cops. Need for Speed. It was really good. It came out on PS4. I thoroughly enjoyed that actually because you could play. You played in a world where maybe a dozen other people were playing. Single player experience. So, but if you were playing in police mode, you could you could catch people who were playing in the opposite mode while they were doing their single player missions to make it a little bit harder for them, which I found was really good fun. But I haven't played since. I don't know if this is the same one because I only got a half hour into this, but 25 minutes of this was FMV sequences. Yeah.
Like actual people like talking and stuff like that and like moving around. It's really bad acting, and it was not worth the $10 that I paid for it.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so don't buy the old Need for Speed game. I've heard the new one is supposed to be pretty good. The one that just came out a month or two ago.
So the one I played is actually from 2013, which is Need for Speed Rivals, which I actually really enjoyed. I haven't played any of the newer ones, although I do actually enjoy that. I'm not a big racing fan, but I do enjoy these more unrealistic arcade style.
The arcade racers.
Yeah, I do enjoy that a bit. So.
And I like the older ones. I haven't played them in a really long time, so I picked it up. I'm like, I'll play it. And this was a bad idea. And I haven't gotten to play it yet, but I did pick up the new Wolfenstein game because that immediately went on sale for 50%.
I would have bought it if I'd known. I will buy that when it comes down. When it comes down to a reasonable price. Yeah.
I was waiting for it to come to the Switch, but then they had it on sale for Black Friday, and I'm like, I will pick this up because I will enjoy it. So, haven't got to it yet, but that is next on my list once I get a little bit further into Skyrim.
Cool. So how's Skyrim? So my main question is, how does Skyrim play on a console? Having only ever played it on a PC and had to use mouse and keyboard to shoot arrows and fight, I don't know how that would play on a console.
So I've never had any problems playing it on console, even especially the old version. I've not played the special edition on console till I got the Switch. On the Switch, it plays just fine. I mean, it plays no worse than any other console that I've done on. Now, on the Switch, at least undocked, because that's mostly where I've played it, it is kind of pixely, but that's it's only a 720p screen.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm sure they're shrinking some stuff down. So, it's like taking screenshots. The screenshots actually make it look worse than it does on the screen.
Cool.
But it's not horrible. I mean, it's definitely playable, and it's not like you're playing like an old PS1 game or anything.
I used to love playing Skyrim. I used to absolutely love playing Skyrim until I took an arrow to the knee.
And then someone stole your sweet roll?
I'll get my code. It's fine. Cool. So yeah, today we're gonna... I mean, that's the niceties out of the way. We're going to quickly run through the Game Awards, which happened 3 weeks ago on December 7th, 2 weeks ago only on December 7th. And yeah, I think we're just we'll run through every result, I guess, but we'll talk about some more than the others because some of these are pretty uninteresting to me, and I've got no interest in talking about stuff that bores me. So sorry.
Yes,
so if you're a fan of the best stroke music, I don't see us talking about that for too long, but that's fine. That's fine. So you go ahead, Chris. You start us off.
Yes, and as professional as we are, neither of us actually watched this. We're just going through the results because that's the kind of people we are. So starting at the bottom, and I have no idea what order they were displayed on TV. We're just literally going through the Wikipedia page, and we're going to discuss it. So best debut indie game winner was Cuphead, which I'm okay with that. Cuphead looks like
totally okay with that.
Looks like a very nice game. I've not played it, but having watched people play it, it just seems like an old console game. Like, it's hard, but it looks really nice.
It's an old console game, but with a really unique style. So if you haven't seen it, I have no idea how to describe this style.
1920s cartoon.
Yeah, early Mickey Mouse. No, not even early Mickey Mouse, really. But yeah, it looks... I mean... I've watched some video gameplay online, and oh my god, it's really hard, but it looks absolutely spectacular, unique. It looks like you're playing a cartoon, effectively. To me, it's so cool.
Yeah, and that was one of the big things when it was announced. Now, I am sad that it's a Windows exclusive game because I was really looking forward to getting it on PS4. I should play my Xbox One more often, so I should probably get it. But I mean, it was up against Golf Story, which I love Golf Story, but there's no way that's the best game of the year.
There's not enough depth in Golf Story. I'm really enjoying playing it still. I still pick it up and have a little go now and again. It's a perfect game for the Switch because you can just dip in and out of it really easily.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be happy to play that on like a PS4, a home console or on my desktop PC. I wouldn't play it at all in those situations. No. But it's great to just dip in and out of. Anyway, yeah. Cool.
Mr. Shifty, which I never thought looked super fun. Slime Rancher, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I've watched people play it. I don't get why you would want to play that game. And And then Hollow Knight, which is I'm actually looking forward to coming out on the Switch because I love platforms on the Switch.
Yep.
So for me it was between Cuphead and Hollow Knight.
I think Cuphead is...
But I think Cuphead's fine
perfect. Perfect. Yeah.
Student Game Award. I have no idea what any of those are, so we're gonna skip them. I'm gonna guess those were ones that were submitted to the Game Awards. So best multiplayer winner was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So a half-baked game won.
Hey,
actually,
no. It released version 1 yesterday, so let's not, let's be honest.
When were the Video Game Awards done?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
And when did it start? When was it? When was it started to be sold on Xbox last week?
I have to say this. I don't want to go into the actual game because if you've watched the last 3 episodes, you'll hear me.
Yeah.
My love-hate relationship with this game, but. Yes, I agree. It's a half-baked game, but honestly, when you look at the competition, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'm very sorry. I love that game too.
But that Mario Kart 8 is also a 4-year-old game.
It's not good enough. Splatoon 2, no. I don't think that's a spectacular game of the year type game. Destiny 2, it came out, it had big fanfare, and then it promptly went away again in my mind. It didn't... I'm not hearing a lot about that anymore. So
that's because everybody hates it.
And that's my point. Now, the only thing I would say is Fortnite, which is another half-baked and released early access game, which I play a ton of as well, has 2 game modes, one of which is stolen directly from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, who stole it directly from King of the Hill, H1Z1, who stole it directly from whatever, right? I'm not going to go into that. But Fortnite, I could have seen winning it. They've had multiple millions of consecutive online players at the same time this year, as have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Call of Duty World War II. That's had critically...
I haven't...
it's had good critical reaction.
I have to say bad stuff about it.
It's had really good critical reaction. I've heard people who I know who play online FPS have said very good things about it. Do you know why PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds win? Is because it's equally as good fun to watch as it is to play, which is the most unique thing I can ever say about any game. I will stick a streamer on my second machine while I'm working and glance up every now and again, and it's like this intriguing game to watch people play. It's so clever. I don't think it's ever going to be like a great esport game that they seem to think that it's going to be. Unless...
Not with the performance, no.
But, I don't think that's such a bad thing, to be honest.
No, I mean, with what it was up against, I mean, Fortnite is a good game, but compared to PlayerUnknown's, it's probably not.
I could have seen... I would have been happy with either PUBG or World War II or COD World War II. I think would have been fair, and it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah. So, best sports or racing game. The winner was Forza Motorsport 7, which I'm not surprised. Forza is one of my favorite games. I have deliberately not bought 7 because I don't like the loot box system in it, and I think it's completely crappy. So, this is the first Forza in a while I've not actually purchased. But up against FIFA 18, NBA 2K18, Pro Evolution Soccer, I don't think any of those were... FIFA 18, I think, was fairly highly wanted, but I'm not big on soccer, and I don't really have people around me that play the FIFA games, so I'm sure it's different. Soccer...
FIFA could have won that. FIFA could have won it, and it would
Probably.
have been FIFA 18. FIFA 18 has been highly, highly received amongst people who play FIFA. And either you play FIFA or you don't. I think that's a fair assumption.
I think that's the way it is. Yeah. 2K NBA 2K18 is just a cash grab.
Yeah.
Now Project Cars 2. Project Cars, I thought was pretty fun, but it was never any Forza. And same thing with Gran Turismo Sport. I don't think Gran Turismo has ever been on the level of Forza since the Xbox 360 days. So Forza, I think technically, yes, it was probably the best game out of there. I am hesitant to give it awards because then it's kind of rewarding the bad behavior that they're doing.
Yeah. I have no opinions.
Forza's usually fun.
Yeah, I have no opinions on this.
So, best strategy game, I think...
Jesus Christ.
I think this is the wrong winner. I'm going to be honest.
I think this is
the winner. The winner was Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which I will fully admit I love the game, but up against XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, XCOM 2 probably should have won.
XCOM 2 War of the Chosen is the best strategy game of this decade so far, let alone this year. Like, I genuinely mean that. For me, obviously, just my opinion, but War of the Chosen.
I haven't played XCOM 2 yet. I have watched plenty of other people play it, and I will say I think that is a better game, having watched it, than Mario and Rabbids. But now Mario and Rabbids would have been a close second, but I don't think Mario is better than XCOM in this case.
XCOM 2 is the de facto. It's the genre defining game of its genre, for sure, absolutely for sure. I mean. Yeah, I don't see anything beating it. This, like, given how poor Civ 6 was when it, that really hasn't stuck with me. I don't see a game beating it for this decade. I really don't. It would take something special in the next 2 years to come out that would stop that being my game of the decade for strategy. Genuinely.
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, these are up against Halo Wars 2, Total War Warhammer 2, which I love the Total War series, but the Warhammer ones I have not really gotten into. And Tooth and Tail, while an interesting game and having some really nice art, at least from what I've seen, was not anywhere near as in-depth as any of the rest of the games on this list. So I don't know how that made it on, but then Civ
It's an RTS, right?
Even make it to the list. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played that. I shouldn't comment so much because I haven't actually seen anything of... I know all the rest of that category pretty well, but I haven't really looked or seen anything of Tooth and Tail. So I'll check it out.
Which I think it looks like a good game, but like, how did that get on the list but not Civ 6? Unless Civ 6 came out in 2016, and I forgot. But I thought it came out in 2017.
Did come out in 2016.
Okay, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think it did release. Yeah, 21st of October 2016.
Okay, so that would be why. But XCOM 2 War of the Chosen as DLC made it on.
It goes to show how, like, excited we were for Civ 6 and then how quickly that excitement went away because I haven't been impressed with Civ 6 at all. Anyway,
I will wait till the DLC's out and then get it because usually by that time they've patched all the bugs and stuff. So then moving on, best family game winner was Super Mario Odyssey. And I think it is telling to say that in this category you had Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart Deluxe, Mario and Rabbids, and Splatoon 2, all four Switch games up against Sonic Mania, which was a multi-platform and on the Switch. Yeah. So basically, it's which was the best Switch game. I'm okay with Super Mario Odyssey.
I'm fine with it. I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with Mario Kart 8 there. I would have been fine with Mario and Rabbids. Yeah, I pretty much don't care. But because honestly, looking at those 5 games, they were all really, really good. So.
I think
it's probably the only category where I'd have been like, I could have accepted any one of those winning, to be honest.
Now, if it was playing with your family, I would say Mario Kart 8 or Mario and Rabbids would probably be better because Splatoon 2 doesn't let you do split screen and Mario Odyssey's 2-player is kind of jank. But family game, Mario Odyssey, I will happily let that go, hands down, every time. Best fighting game. Now, I do not play many.
Who cares?
I don't play many. Apparently,
nobody cares. No.
Injustice 2 was the winner. Sure, I guess it's okay.
And then the other fighting games. So, Injustice 2, which I've never heard of, was the winner. The other 4 games I've never heard of.
It's the DC. It's DC Heroes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fighting. The other 4 I haven't heard of is ARMS, ARMS. I don't even know how to pronounce that game or what it means or whether it's an acronym.
It's ARMS. It's the
all
Switch
in capitals.
Punchy game with the. It's the Switch game where like you have spring arms and you're like actually punching people.
Woohoo! Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Nidhogg 2, and Tekken 7. There we go. I've heard of Tekken before now, so perhaps that should have won because I've heard of it. I don't know.
Yeah, so there you go. Injustice 2, it won.
Well done.
Okay, we've now angered all the fighting people that watch this podcast.
Look, this podcast is always and always will be highly opinionated. I don't play fighting games. I totally respect people who do, and that is absolutely brilliant. It's just not for me. I don't have anything against them. We've mentioned every episode how much I'm a terrible gamer, and I think that there's no game that reveals how bad at Twitch gaming you are more than fighting games. And because I'm such a terrible gamer, I could never win a fighting game. Therefore, I immediately discount them.
That works for me. So then, moving on, best role-playing game winner was Persona 5, which, from what I have seen, is probably a good pick.
Yeah.
Now it was up against some pretty decent RPGs, I think. Divinity: Original Sin 2, which I'm sure put a lot of people off because it was an old computer game style.
I can't wait.
I
literally cannot wait to till that becomes gets a some kind of discount, because I will be buying Original Sin 2 100%.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 15, which I have sitting on my shelf. It's coming up to play. Which, from what I watched, it was a really good game. Nier Automata, I didn't really like. I wouldn't really consider it a role-playing game. But
I don't think it is a role-playing game. I agree with you.
It's more of a hack and slash. I mean, it's who made it? Platinum Games. Who does? I wouldn't call it an RPG.
I wouldn't.
And South Park, The Fractured Butthole. And just to make my son laugh, you ever listen to it's The Fractured Butthole.
You said butthole, yeah.
I did.
This looks good.
The kids love that joke.
This looks really good. I will buy this when it comes. This is another game that's on my Steam watch list or maybe it's on a different.
It's on a watch list. Stick of Truth. I love Stick of Truth, and honestly, it was between this and Fallout. I can play Fallout in front of the kids. I can't play South Park in front of the kids. So that's the only reason I didn't buy it.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty strong. That's a pretty strong list again. To be fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the Persona games are fun.
I haven't played any of them. I haven't. I should give that a go. It doesn't capture me anything like Original Sin.
It is a little bit polarizing because you got to remember, like, you're playing like high school kids and stuff, like Japanese high school kids.
Yeah, no. I know. Ross Tuck, Slack loves these games. Always tells me
he loves
them. So, and if Ross likes them, they got to be pretty good in games for Ross.
Yeah.
Like them. So, I don't know. I tell you, while we're talking about role playing games, it's worth mentioning that I only found out 2 weeks ago. I forgot to mention in what we've been playing, The Legend of Grimrock, a couple of games.
Oh, that game is fun.
Which
I have the first one,
which I've bought because they are Eye of the Beholder style or Dungeon Master. If you're an older person like me. Really, really hard. Dungeon crawler is the kind of name of the genre where you go forward, turn left, shit your weapon. Old school, old style game. Really worth buying. So, just as an aside. And then we can move on to best action adventure. Cool.
Which the winner was Breath of the Wild, which I'm totally happy with. There were a lot of good action adventure games this year. So we had Assassin's Creed Origin, which looks good, but I don't like the Assassin's Creed game myself. Horizon Zero Dawn, which I am just waiting for Game of the Year edition to get. Super Mario Odyssey and Uncharted Lost Legacy. I've never been big on Uncharted either, just couldn't really get into them. Horizon Zero Dawn looks amazing. But
it does look amazing.
Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite game of all time.
Here we go now, because I really find that it's really overrated. I've not said anything while I've been playing it. I have really not got on with it after playing it for 20 hours or whatever. I just don't. I find it boring, repetitive, samey. I don't like the fighting system. I don't like the combat system at all.
No, I don't like the weapon degradation system.
I just after I look past all the hype, I love the graphics for it. I like a lot about it. I just don't. I'm not a big fan. Do you know what? I'm close to saying I don't think I got my money's worth out of that game, and that's the truth for me. And I know a lot of people will think that I'm crazy because they think this is the best game. But I do feel like it's because I haven't bought into the whole Zelda Nintendo genre thing, because I skipped all that stuff when I was younger. So I don't have any kind of emotional attachment to the brand, which could mean that I'm not blinkered, and I'm not accusing anyone of loving the game of being blinkered.
It could be, yeah.
I guess I am, but I don't mean that in such a bad way. There's certain games that could come out that they could be a heap of shit that I would still go, yeah, it's the best game ever, you know? XCOM being one of those, to be fair. You know, there's been some pretty poor XCOMs, and I still... No, it's great, but... Yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like everybody else loves it, and I don't, and I feel like maybe I'm missing a part of the game, or I don't get it, you know? But, yeah, that's what it is.
You're allowed to be wrong. It's fine. So, on that list, would you have picked something different?
Yeah, I probably would have said Super Mario Odyssey, to be honest, except for the fact that it's already, like, I know it's been on a load of lists, and it won Best Family Game. No, I probably think that because I'm in such a minority, that I'm probably, my opinion isn't the overriding opinion of the world, therefore I think it's a reasonable pick, you know. Critically very good, very well acclaimed, very well received by the actual players of the game. Yeah, I don't think it's the wrong pick. I don't feel so hyped about that game. That's really the point I wanted to make.
Okie dokie. So then moving on, Best Action Game. Winner was Wolfenstein II, The New Colossus, which I've watched a little bit of gameplay. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about it.
It was up against Cuphead, which we've already talked about. Looks like an amazing game. Destiny 2, which is basically Destiny 1. Neo, which I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
By Team Ninja. And then Prey, which Prey I thought was a Bethesda game, but apparently not. I watched quite a bit of Prey, and it could be that I kind of like that Dishonored Deus Ex gameplay more than the run and gun kind of stuff. I
really want to buy Prey.
I kind of assumed Cuphead would have won this.
Prey is published by Bethesda, but I think it's developed by Arcane.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
But it's I really, really, really like the look of this game. Again, it's on my wish list. Very much looking forward to playing Prey, but
I've watched some Let's Plays of it, and it looks like a very good game. The ones I've seen of Wolfenstein 2, and maybe I just haven't watched it enough or just played it hands-on since it's sitting on my shelf, looks like a fun game, but I would think Prey or Cuphead...
Yeah, agreed.
Probably would have been better.
Agreed.
Than probably
Wolfenstein. I haven't played Wolfenstein 2 again, and this is what I'm saying about 90% of the games on this list that I fancy. I would buy it. I definitely would buy it. It's not a franchise that I would buy at full price. But then there is only, like, I can count the number of franchises on one hand that I would go out and buy on the day of release because they're, at full price. Fallout and Skyrim being, two of those. So, not Skyrim, but you know what I mean. The Elder Scrolls, I should say, rather than Skyrim. But I enjoyed the last Wolfenstein game. I didn't think it was anything particularly special or remarkable.
Not a bad
so
game.
I don't know if this must be it makes me more excited to go out and buy Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, so it's all good by me.
I'll play it over the holidays and I'll let you know.
Now best VR AR game. We're not going to spend time talking on this unless you really want to. So the winner was
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I've seen Star Trek Bridge Crew played hilariously on a Let's Play. I don't understand how it's a full game. But Resident Evil, Resident Evil 7 is a full game with VR capabilities, and it would scare the shit out of me if I was playing the game.
Yeah.
So
and the other four
it wins.
The other four games were Farpoint, Lone Echo, Star Trek Bridge Crew, and Super Hot VR. I don't know what that is. I guess it's porn or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Super Hot was a game where like time only moved when you moved. So
Actually, that looked pretty good.
It was that really super minimalist game. Yeah. So they made
it looked pretty good. Yeah. To be fair.
Yep.
Cool.
Best handheld game, Metroid: Samus Returns.
I don't get
I'm okay
this
with that
at all. No, but
What?
what the hell is this category even? Best handheld game?
I think it's
best
just
mobile game.
I think it's just 3DS games. I think it's best 3DS game is basically what they're talking about.
Okay.
So I mean, you had Ever Oasis, Fire Emblem Echoes, Monster Hunter Stories, and Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. Basically, this is the 3DS category. Out of those, I would say I probably would have. I do have Metroid: Samus Returns, and it is a very fun game. It's Metroid 2. So I think that's fine, but it's basically just like console handhelds, not mobile games.
Okay. Which is weird that there's no Switch games in there.
Probably because that's technically a console, not a handheld, even though it's a handheld. So see, the Switch is breaking barriers. Next year we'll have Switch games on here.
Cool. Okay. Best mobile game. I have no idea what any of these things are. I assume these are the games where they make you pay micropayments to keep playing them and all that crap. So whatever.
Or in the case of Nintendo, charge you $10. So Monument Valley won that. I've never heard of it. So maybe it is a good game. I don't know. Fire Emblem Heroes, one of my D&D buddies played it. Seemed to enjoy it. It was a decent time sink. Hidden Folks, have no idea. Old Man's Journey, have no idea. Super Mario Run, worst $10 I've ever spent.
Yep, that's fine. Best indie game, absolutely no surprises for best indie game, won by Cuphead, and absolutely so it should be won by Cuphead. It's been successful by any metric you want to throw at a game. It's been profitable. It's had great reviews. It's sold loads of copies. It has amazing graphics. It has amazing sound. So yeah, the only thing that stopped me buying Cuphead is the fact that I'm so poor at games I wouldn't get to see it. I only get to see like 3% of the content. I probably will buy it at some point. In fact, no, there's no probably. I will buy it at some point.
I'm sure it'll go
and
cheap
the other
on
games
Steam
in
sale.
that. Yep, the other games in there, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. I believe that's pronounced. I did look that up before saying it. So, Night in the Woods.
Senua, but anyway.
Senua, whatever. Night in the Woods. Pyre looks interesting, actually, and What Remains of Edith Finch, which I've never even heard of. So there we go.
It's one of those walking simulator games.
Oh, great! Like
but
PUBG.
no, I think, but without the guns. I think Cuphead's a good winner for that category.
Yeah, agreed.
Best ongoing game. This one, I think I'm okay with. The winner was Overwatch by Blizzard. But compared to what it's up against, Destiny 2, I think is not doing very well. Like I said, I've made the joke a couple times. It's basically Destiny 1, but with worse loot drops.
So for me, right, two of the games in this category, Destiny 2 and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, how the hell can they be in the best ongoing game category when PUBG wasn't even released at this point, and Destiny 2 was only released a month before? Maybe even less than a month before? But
if that.
6 weeks?
But then you also have Grand Theft Auto Online, which came out years ago. So this is I'm going to assume it's just any MMO or any persistent online game. Grand Theft Auto Online is a piece of shit. Shouldn't even be on the list.
You broke up there, so I'm guessing you're saying GTA Online is a piece of shit and shouldn't be on the list.
Yes. Yep.
I totally disagree, because honestly, I know people who love that game, who play it, and Rockstar release tons of new content on a periodic, on a really nice schedule. So I would say that GTA Online should have won this. I really would, because for me, Rainbow Six Siege, for best ongoing game, I think there should be good content releases. Like, otherwise, World of Warcraft should win this every single year.
I didn't realize Siege was still played. And I don't mean that as a joke. Like, I honestly didn't think that there was that big of a player base for it anymore, because they weren't updating it. Now, Grand Theft Auto does have a huge player base. I don't like how every time something comes out, I can't afford anything because I don't play it 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I can't afford any of the new stuff that comes into it. The lobbies are crap. The trying to get a group together, unless you have a dedicated group, half the people don't know what they're doing or are just screwing around. So I don't... Technically, sure, it's a perfectly fine game. Play-wise, game sucks. So I'm okay with Overwatch winning this.
I don't mind Overwatch winning it. I just... This whole category has confused me, and...
It's a weird category.
It is fine. I don't understand how... Again, why hasn't World of Warcraft won this? Because if you're looking at the best ongoing game, it's been ongoing forever. They keep periodically releasing new packs. They still have multiple millions of players playing it. But apparently, it's not allowed to be on the list because it's not fashionable. So there we go. Anyway, enough soapboxing.
So, games for Impact. Winner was Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Okay. These are mostly story games. You have Bury Me Love, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Night in the Woods, Please Knock on My Door, What Remains of Edith Finch. Yeah, I mean, Hellblade has a very interesting story, and I think does make you think on a lot of things, especially with stuff like mental illness. So I guess with this category, yeah, sure. Gameplay-wise, I don't think it's anything special, but...
I don't care about this category. The most telling thing about this category for me is that two of the games on Wikipedia don't even have their own pages with a hyperlink on them. So that tells me everything I need to know about this category. Sorry.
Best performance, Melina Juergens as Senua and Hellblade. I have not played any of these games, so I have no idea how good Ashley Birch was in Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, other than the Let's Play, but I've not actually seen it like long term. Brian Bloom as BJ. No. Claudia Black as Chloe Fraser in Uncharted, and Laura Bailey in Uncharted as well. So sure, that was probably a good pick.
Well done.
Best audio design. Winner was Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Again, yeah.
Sure, I guess. I mean, yeah, we'll go with that.
So this is audio design, which I am actually somewhat interested in. My good friend Ryan Davis, who composed the awesome chiptune that we have as a theme song here, will hate me for saying, like, I do not appreciate score and music in a game at all. I often turn music off immediately, or put it down to like 10%. So I do have interest in audio design. I'm interested to see that Destiny 2 is on there. I'm interested to see Super Mario Odyssey's on there. Seems weird. And Zelda Breath of the Wild is on there, which, again, like, I would be interested to see how this category is judged, is my opinion.
So you have best audio design, but then you also have best score and music.
So this doesn't include the music, right?
This should be how well is the game designed from just an audio standpoint, like sound effects, music, ambiance, that kind of thing. So that's probably why Hellblade wins this. Destiny 2, unless things have drastically changed to Destiny 1, I didn't really have like that much atmospheric love for the audio.
No, and I guess Zelda had good. It did have good atmospheric sounds.
Zelda had good atmospheric stuff. I don't think it had a great score because there's not much music. No. But I think it did well in the audio design department. Mario, I think, has a better score. Yeah. Resident Evil 7, from what I watched, that was pretty good. Keeping the, like, someone's going to burst through the store and eat me kind of vibe going through it.
So the best...
So the best one was Hellblade. And then we have best score and music.
Yeah. And it was Automata, which... Nier Automata, of course. I don't know. I haven't seen any gameplay footage or anything of this. Like the other games which we've already covered, Cuphead, Destiny 2, Persona 5, I've seen some Let's Play on that, but I did notice the music was really cool there. And Super Mario Odyssey and Zelda, I mean, Zelda's music was Zelda's music, right? As much as it was Zelda-y music, and it was
Breath of the Wild to me did not have a great score, but it didn't really, it was mostly environmental sounds and like very low key kind of stuff, where like all the rest of the games I think had like full blown orchestral music and stuff like that went along with what was going on. Not that Breath of the Wild was bad, but I think it was better audio design than score. I guess Automata is okay. I like the music in Cuphead. The stuff in Persona 5 is pretty good. Mario Odyssey had, I think, a great score. I probably would have picked Mario Odyssey, but that's me.
Fine.
Best art direction was Cuphead.
I think that's
I'm gonna go with that.
Spot
Yep,
on.
I mean it was up against Destiny 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Legend of Zelda. No, Cuphead wins that hands down.
Agreed. Yeah, totally agree.
Best narrative: What Remains of Edith Finch. It's a walking simulator. That's great. I don't particularly like them. Now it was up against Hellblade, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, and Wolfenstein II. From what I've seen of Horizon, I probably would have picked that. Hellblade probably had the next, probably most interesting story behind it. Wolfenstein was just Wolfenstein, so it's the same basic story it's always had. So I probably would have changed that one.
I agree.
So now
I agree. I have no real comment on that. Let's move on.
Okay. So last two categories. First one, best game direction. And the winner, well, let's see. So best game direction, you had Legend of Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, Super Mario Odyssey, Wolfenstein 2, with the winner being Breath of the Wild. I'm okay with this. I would say for me it's either Breath of the Wild or Super Mario Odyssey.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with. I think that the amount of Zelda of Breath of the Wild I played, it did seem like it was very very well directed, very very cleverly thought out, very interestingly made. So yeah, I think that I can live with that. That's fine.
Okay. So that leaves us to the Game of the Year list. So this comprised of Super Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown Battleground, Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Zelda Breath of the Wild, with the winner being Breath of the Wild. I will let Gary go first.
I've already told my personal opinion, but I think it's a fair pick, even though that seems hypocritical, and I don't think I'm being hypocritical, because not only did Zelda, like if you look at what a game needs to do to have made an achievement, for example, then all of those games I would have been happy with them winning it, even though PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was still in early access, which we've covered. I still think that it defines a genre. And so, therefore, I think that it could be in the running. Zelda, not only did it sell 1 million whatever copies, it sold 1 million whatever Switches. So I have to, and it's beautifully made. It's well thought out. It's really nice to play. It's perfect handheld or when the Switch is docked. It's just not for me. So. That shouldn't mean that I can't critically appreciate a game just because it's not my style of game that I like. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, because I think your point is correct. I don't know that Super Mario Odyssey would have sold as many Switches as Zelda did if it was a launch title. Now, taking nothing away from Odyssey because that is an amazing game, I don't think it was a console seller like Zelda was. Persona 5 is a good Japanese RPG, but I don't think, if that came out on the Switch, I don't know that would have sold the Switches. Horizon Zero Dawn, excellent game. PUBG is a game, but I think you're right. That's a genre-defining game, and that's the reason why it's on this list. So I'm happy with Breath of the Wild winning it. I probably would have been happy with probably any of them winning it based on what they do. Persona 5 is probably one of the first Japanese RPGs that has really kind of risen up and gotten a lot of people playing about it or talking about it.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised Cuphead isn't on there. If I'm gonna be hypercritical, I think
that's true.
The Cuphead could be on there instead of PUBG shouldn't be on there because it wasn't released. I'm really sorry. you can't have a Game of the Year nomination, a game that isn't even out of
for early access.
We've discussed early access before. We discussed it in the Pet Hates thing. I don't have a problem. I totally do not have a problem with early access as a concept. I just don't believe. How can you nominate and give an award to a game that wasn't released at the time of the awards? That's ridiculous. But so I would prefer to see Cuphead on there instead of PUBG, if I'm honest.
I agree on the grounds that PUBG was not a finished game. That Cuphead should have been on there. I do agree with your assessment, though, that it was genre defining. So therefore, it maybe has a place on there. But from just a purely, like, was this released this year? PlayerUnknown Battleground literally just squeaked it out because it was announced today. Yeah, no, I agree. That it was version 1.0. It's been on the shelves, and I don't think that counts. Especially considering when you bought the disc in Walmart, that it was just a download card and some stickers. So I don't think that counts.
I like it. There's two things that I'd like to just quickly discuss. The first is, I really should buy Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus, given how many nominations it's had. It must be a good game. Mm-hmm. It must be a good game, which has surprised me, to be honest. I knew it was released, but I didn't really look. It's definitely a series of games where I would always keep picking up the latest game at some point, but I've always thought of them as being like my kind of tier 2 games where I like to play them, but I wouldn't like really push myself to play them. So that is intriguing for me. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything on the list that surprised you or made you excited.
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty happy with most of the picks. So I mean, there's nothing that really jumps out at me like, oh, they really screwed that up or anything.
Cool.
Other than the couple, like I probably maybe would have switched a couple of them around. But I mean, it probably pushes me. I'll probably pick up Cuphead on Xbox. When it invariably goes on sale during this holiday season. So, but I think overall, I'm pretty happy with what the jury picked for
me too.
These games.
So there's a couple more things I'd like to pick out to the Fans' Choice Award, if you're okay with that.
I am fine with that.
So the most anticipated game is really interesting. So these are the fan-voted categories. So I believe there's a panel of industry experts that picks the ones we've covered so far. The Academy in the Oscars, so to speak. So the most anticipated game, The Last of Us Part 2, was the winner. I'll run down the list quickly and we can discuss them. The others on the list, the God of War, Marvel Spider-Man looks interesting. Monster Hunter World looks really interesting. And, of course, Red Dead Redemption 2. So there's some big games there. I guess we'll do next month what are we looking forward to in 2018, which is going to be incredibly similar to 2017 in some respects, but that's fine. But yeah, there's some pretty cool games in the most anticipated game category.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Last of Us. I really need to get around to doing it. Last of Us Part 2 looks really good. For me, out of that list, I'm looking for God of War and Red Dead Redemption. Monster Hunter World. I've never really gotten into the Monster Hunter games. Like I've watched Pro Jared has played a little bit of Monster Hunter World, and it looks interesting, but I'm not a Monster Hunter guy.
I agree. I feel like I should be a Monster Hunter guy. I feel like that's the kind of co-op type game I could play and enjoy, but never have. Best quickly, just two more, and then we'll wrap this up. But best esports game was Overwatch, which I think. Actually, when I go through the list, let's go through the list. Overwatch, highly played esports game. Esports, we're talking about competitive, professional people playing the game competitively. Kind of games. Yep. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't. I don't suppose it needs to be squad based. I don't think that's in it, but it's true. Where professional gamers will play. So Overwatch is probably right up there as being one of the most entertaining esport games. But the others were Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, League of Legends, and Rocket League, all of which are excellent games to watch being played competitively. So, yeah, I think roll a dice there. But I'm interested. Like, Counter-Strike is still a thing. I didn't realize this until a few months ago.
Counter-Strike Go is still a huge player base.
I did not realize this until a few months ago either. I'm amazed, but I can see how it's still around. And when I looked at some gameplay footage online, it's still incredibly similar to the original game. I mean, it hasn't fallen far from the tree, is it?
No.
So, I mean, wow, amazing that two guys who just made a mod for Half-Life because the multiplayer in Half-Life was so terrible has, and this thing that must have been guessing 15 years ago. Counter-Strike came out.
Oh, the original one? Well, it was on the Half-Life 1 engine, wasn't it?
It was on the Half-Life 1 engine, yeah.
Because Go is on the new Source engine. But, so, well, I say new in quotes, considering Half-Life 2 came out.
yeah.
God, before I got a PlayStation 3. So, yeah.
When you think that, like, effectively the Steam platform was built to deliver Counter-Strike initially, that is...
Exactly.
It probably wasn't just built to deliver Counter-Strike, but it was a huge part of why Valve decided to make their own delivery platform was because people were buying Half-Life just to play Counter-Strike, and installing Counter-Strike updates was incredibly painful. And so they were like, well, we probably should do something to fix this. We'll build our own delivery platform. So it's amazing to see that still knocking around. Anyway. And then
I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't really like any of these games. Rocket League I like, but
I'm going to buy that on the Switch. It's released. It's close to release. I've seen a couple of reviews for it. Yeah. It's gone good reviews. I'm definitely buying on the Switch. The last one then is Trending Gamer. I wanted to talk about Guy Beam, Dr. Disrespect, one of my favorite streamers to watch, who's taking a bit of a sabbatical at the moment. But I don't know all of these. I guess they're streamers.
I don't know who any of these people are.
You don't know Shroud? Wow, Shroud's a pro gamer who's like really popular on Twitch because of his quality. Dr. Disrespect is a very different gamer. He's a very good gamer, but he just plays this character of this 80s this 80s guy with the mullet and the glasses, the sunglasses, and he's pretty cool. But he's on a break at the moment. But yes, I love Dr. Disrespect, so very happy with that. You have no comment.
Sure,
it's fine.
I have no comment. I'm old school. I still watch Let's Plays on YouTube, and every once in a while we'll watch Twitch, unless I'm watching Rift Tracks because they have a Twitch channel. So
it's cool. So that is it for this time. Have a wonderful holidays, everybody. I'm British, so I'm allowed to say have a great Christmas.
No, we're allowed to say that again. We're allowed to say that again, Gary.
So have a wonderful Christmas. Have a great New Year. We will almost certainly do either a yearly roundup or a what are we looking forward to in 2018 episode next.
Yeah, well, I think we'll do a looking forward to it because I think most of this year has been us talking about the games that we've been playing. So yeah. I think. We did it at the beginning of this year. I think 2018 we'll start off with what are we looking forward to. And we'll see how many of those games actually get released.
Yep, so get in touch if there are any games that you were particularly looking forward to being released in 2018. Please get in touch via our Twitter, which is @JerksTalkGames, or on our Slack channel, which you'll find how to join on jerkstalkgames.com.
Yes. And then also you can find us on iTunes or Stitcher, or any of the places that you should be able to find podcasts. If you can't find us, let us know, and we will be there. But as always, you can find me directly on Twitter as @DragonManTank. You can find Gary on Twitter as @Gee or @GEEH. As Gary said, you can find us online at JerksTalkGames or JerksTalkGames.com. And so, Gary, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule right before the holidays. And to everybody else, don't forget to save your game.